Friends. If you click to check out my Suqqu products, what I purchased including demos and my thoughts on what I have used so far, then please keep on watching. Hi, I'm Alicia. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on my video. And if you are returning, well, thank you for visiting me again. Kinky Sweat stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things on movement and beauty. If you want to check out what I do in between the makeups, you can head over to my Instagram. I have been wanting to film this video for quite some time. I've accumulated some stuff, you know, aka went a little crazy. Let me start from the beginning. Suqqu is a brand that I peripherally heard of. Kinda knew about it, but didn't really dive in, quite frankly, because I knew it was an Asian brand. I was like, oh boy, how hard is it for me to get Suqqu? I did see it's available on Selfridges as well as Harrod's, but and this is pre-Rona, okay? I couldn't try the products. It was kind of a leap of faith. If you wanted to try Suqqu, you just had to buy it, right? Because it is not sold here in the States. My girl Valerie, who is a fellow squad member, hi Val, loves Suqqu. She had always told me Suqqu is the best. It is one of the best makeup products you will ever use, I have ever used. And I'm like, okay Val, okay. I did buy a couple of Suqqu products and I showcased them in previous monthly favorites. And some of you were like, oh, that's nice. And I was like, I know. I was very impressed, but there was one interview. There was an interview hosted by Suqqu Europe on their IGTV. It was between George Jorge Bazzaretti and Kenneth So. They were talking about the Extra Glow foundation and the sheer loose powder. Basically, Kenneth was sharing his top 5 Suqqu products, one of them being the Extra Glow foundation. And that is definitely what made me pull the trigger on this baby. And ever since then, when I had tried this foundation, you saw I had included it in various demos, mentioned it several times in favorites. The one thing that was challenging, however, which I'm sure you have already figured out by now, is trying to decide what shade to get. There are not a lot of people of color, I feel, in the YouTube space that talks about Suqqu. I did find a few, but there wasn't really a whole lot. And Suqqu being a Japanese brand, I already knew because of the demographic they were primarily targeting. I feel that Suqqu is now becoming a little more mainstream here in the States, and they see that now, and they probably have to extend their shade range. They are releasing their new cream foundation September 10th. It does have 12 shades. It's still very limited, but they have a chestnut brown shade in there that I feel that they did not have before in their Extra Glow foundation. 7 shades for the concealer. Again, it's not very wide, but a part of the reason why I still wanted to make this video is to share the fact that we are interested in the Suqqu. There are a lot of people on the deeper part of the spectrum, I feel, that will very much love Suqqu makeup. And also in this day and age where we can't really swatch and try stuff in store anymore, even at the counter, to have a shade reference I feel is helpful if you are interested in some of the Suqqu products. Yes, I know I'm not the brownest and the deepest, but if you are around my skin tone, I even had a hard time trying to figure out what shade match I was in the Extra Glow because there just was not a lot of medium tan shades to share. Okay, Breezy T has a video on Suqqu, so I will link her video down below. I was so happy to see that, and hopefully we can see more beauty creators talking about the Suqqu brand because I think their makeup, I say this with confidence, is one of the best formulations, like everything. I don't even have the words. It is so sophisticated in terms of the application, the concept, even the philosophy. And I have their website pulled up. Suqqu means stand straight and tall, and that's why you see the logo letters stacked here. This is their sheer loose powder. It very much represents that visual, that feel. The name Suqqu is inspired by Japanese expression of a woman rising to her full height. She is graceful, independent, fresh, and shining. Suqqu was born to support women living in the present by proposing evolving seasons and giving colorful touch to their heart. Now, I know it has the word woman in there, but I'm sure any human could wear the Suqqu. Most definitely. I understand that's how they're presenting their brand philosophy, but I'm sure they know their makeup is for anyone who's willing to try it. I have a lot of B-roll. I don't even remember what I B-rolled. I just decided anytime I was putting on Suqqu, I recorded myself just so you can have a reference in terms of application and all that jazz. Really though, I wanted to get into the foundation. Not only the foundation I have here, but I have the sheer loose powder as well as the highly anticipated and coveted. I have been looking for this for quite some time. Their blush compact in 101. This released with their fall collection, and mighty man, this is one of the most beautiful products I've ever encountered. Before that blush compact, however, I did purchase their blush singles. This is all from Selfridges, by the way. And the new foundation and concealer drop, I've already contacted Beatrice from the Suqqu counter in Selfridges, okay? I gave her what I wanted. And also, Shumana, who was so nice to have my Suqqu makeup consultation. They shared on their Instagram that they were taking appointments, and Shumana happened to be the same foundation match as me, Extra Glow Foundation Classic Tan 004. She recommended the shade match for the new cream foundation as well as the 3 concealers from their instant coverage, the new lip products, and I was just in heaven. In heaven. Not only that, but the Suqqu Europe IG, they're very nice and responsive. I think I had reached out to ask about their foundation release and what shade match I would be, and they connected me to Balzaretti, and he was the one who was giving me the shade matches. So I'm just very pleased with their service right now. I'm in Suqqu heaven. They're helping me figure out my shade match, and they're very responsive. So if you had any questions about their products, whether you reach out to Alice over at Harrod or Beatrice over at Selfridges, they're gonna help you. Okay. Before the blush compact, I had also purchased the blush singles. These I had raved about already in a few favorite videos. This is in number 1 and this is in number 4. Just flawless in terms of that seamless blend. It looks like skin despite it being a powder. I also have the fall singles. I'm not into single eyeshadow friends because, you know, I love my palettes, but these shades and the compact itself, it's just, is magnetic. And there you have the single. I just love the design. It's so sleek, just minimalist, but with impact. You know what I'm saying? The Shimmering liquid highlighter. My goodness me. I really like this. I do prefer the new multi-glow sticks. I believe that's what it's called. Yes, multi-glow stick in 101 and 102. I find these to be a little more subdued than the shimmer liquid. I'll show the shimmer liquid as well. They're both beautiful. I like these a little better. I feel they're just a touch easier to apply. Shimmer liquid blush in 104. This is from their Frozen Summer collection. They had like a lilac shade that just looked divine, but I missed out. I was too slow. Look at this color though. This is like a warm pink. So beautiful. The flush it creates. Oh my gosh. Also their eyeshadow quads. I'm gonna tell you right now, we have to kind of change our expectations. We're now in Japanese makeup land. The way they wear makeup and approach makeup is very different from how we do it here in the West. Minimal, all about skin, all about that radiance from within. And they take that into, I feel, all the steps in their makeup, including eyeshadow. The eyeshadow is very, when I say sheer, I say sheer in the most positive way. It's not about the pigment and this and the bad and the pigment. It's about that glow and that shimmer. I like the texture. It's smooth and it has impact still. This is from their Frozen Summer collection as well. Here are the shades. Whoops, sorry. They're definitely lighter, and this is kind of going on with the theme of Frozen Summer, but I do feel that the actual shades are very pretty. One and done. It's not about creating ultra smoky looks. You know, you kind of have to escape that for a moment when you're entering this territory, right? And I appreciate that. I like that aspect. I like that approach. It's a nice break from, you know, applying 3 mattes and 3 shimmers and then a corner highlight. Sometimes I do just want to apply one shadow to my lid. I do. And Suqqu definitely encourages me to do so. This quad is from their most recent fall release. These shades are just divinely harmonious. Look at this one. Look at this beautiful fuchsia and this just richly toned copper. Oh, and the olive. The olive is so unexpected, but it works. It works. Look at that. The tone is perfect. You could apply any of these shades all over. I actually applied the fuchsia shade on the inner part of my lash line for my photo shoot, and you can kind of see the pink show through. Isn't that gorgeous? This fuchsia is amazing. But the coral 2 from the Frozen Summer Quad is nice. I like it a lot. Let's swatch this gold shade, the gold shade, friends. Very smooth, but nice shine. I think this formula quite approachable for the person who wants a bit of color, a little bit of sparkle, but not too much. You know what I'm saying? Here are the other 2 shades from the Frozen Summer palette. This is more like a topper iridescent shade. So don't expect like, you know, a whole lot. I would say this shade is appropriate to place on another. So it's like that blue flip, very light. Oop, wrong finger. Here it is. So you would apply that on top of that, you know, to kind of give it a little more dimension. Just to quickly swatch the blushes, here is 04, this beautiful warm pink shade. It's like a brown type of a pink. It is so gorgeous. And here we have 01. This light orange to the pink is so pretty. It just creates that perfect flush that is effortless. I mean, you just pounce it on your cheek and it blends itself. It really does. These shades, however, the downside is, yes, these highlighter shades are very limited in that the deeper you are, the icier these are going to look. So if you really wanted to use this palette and you're deeper than me, I would use like your more golden highlight and maybe just combine a little bit of this and apply it on the bingiest part of your cheekbone. You know what I'm saying? These are more satin and finish than the compacts that I just showed. They have a little more sheen to them. Oh, but the way they apply, and they have a lot more pigment as well. So see that? This is such a unique shade. I can't get over it. It's like a mauve rose. You know, I like my mauves. Those are the more subdued shades out of the palette, and here are the more punchier ones. So this is like the hot pink. This is like this hot coral. Ooh. Ooh, look at the texture. So you see the original 2 single compacts are not as like ba in terms of texture, but even so, they still look very, very smooth on the skin. And here are the 2 highlighter shades. This one is more of a pink. This one is more of like a lighter champagne, although on the cooler side. So here's like the pinky tone, and here's like, it's like a, dare I say it's like a taupe? It's an interesting shade. I actually put them on top of the multi-glow stick and it kind of helps judge the hue a little bit. This is fun. This is like an eyeshadow stick from their Frozen Summer collection. Let's see here. Frosty Shadow Stick in 102. This is fun. I don't know if you can see. There are like sparkles in there that kind of matches up to the coral shade in the Frozen Summer Eye Quad. So I don't know if you can see, there's like blue iridescent specks in there. It's so pretty. So you could apply that all over the lid and then apply that lighter coral shade just to create a little more dimension and gradient. So pretty. And here are the fall singles in 17. This is like a beautiful, rich maroon. Can you imagine just all over the eyes, just done with some mascara? Please. Number 18. This one was okay. I would think, you know, I have to figure out. I think it's actually really nice all over the lid. It's more of a satin finish. This one, when I saw the sneak peeks of this fall collection, the number 16 single, so pretty. Like a, I actually, excuse me, I would say this is more like a pumpkin. Zhuzh the edges of, I don't know, like a more pumpkin tone, deeper orange, or just all over the lid too. You could do so much with that shade. Which one is this one here? Oh, this is the blue one. 105, this beautiful turquoise. Isn't that lovely? And again, yeah, it's not about like the super shine, super texture. This is more like washes of color, okay? If you're not into that, then I get it. Friend, I get it. And here we have 106. So I think the difference between this color and the one found in the fall quad, the one here, this one I feel will be more like a topper. So that doesn't have as much depth of color as the one found in the quad. This though has a little more shine and dazzle. So if you have a fuchsia type of color, magenta, you could put this shade over it to add a little more dimension. See that there's some blue iridescence in there, or you could pop this on top of the fuchsia in the quad if you happen to have both the quad and the single. That was a quick overview. I wanted to save the foundation swatch for the actual foundation application. So since we got all those swatches out of the way, why don't you come in a little closer? That's enough. Okay, skin is looking, you know, spotty. I cannot look at these shades. I think they're so pretty, and I want to get the quad that has like the red and the orange and the pink. It looks just divine. Now in the new foundation, it was recommended that I grab 040, but Jorge recommended 035. He said that, let me go back to the message so I don't screw it up. 035 could also work as it has a lovely tan gold undertone. So this is the extra rich glow. The shades that I was just talking about were from the new cream foundation. Again, that drops on the 10th. This is the extra rich cream glow foundation. Now, I didn't really know much about it. I bought it because I was just convinced from Jorge and Kenneth. But Shumana was explaining that the newer foundation is said to be more satin in finish. The extra glow is exactly that, more glow. However, glow without the grease. And that's one of the reasons why I was just so taken aback by this formula. The fact that it created blur and that it covered, but it didn't feel heavy on the skin. And Shumana was explaining that Suqqu foundation technology, much like a fragrance, right, that has different notes in the scent profile, Suqqu foundation has different levels of pigment. So throughout the day, you have like that first shade that comes forward. As it wears, you have like another undertone that comes through, and at the very end of the day you have like the golden or whatever undertone that you're wearing for your foundation coming through more, so you don't look dull and sallow. I'm like, wow, they really are thinking about that. In addition, they're very much about integrating skincare in their makeup. Now, I have spoken about this several times, especially in regards to Charlotte Tilbury products, where the marketing very much drives the notion of skincare and makeup at the same time. You wear a Charlotte foundation, you're gonna get great skin. I don't know how transformative the 13 Japanese extracts that are included in the new cream foundation. I don't know how much of an impact they will have on my skin. What I do know is that the Japanese, I already feel, has integrated this concept well before we have. Maybe they're a little more ahead in that skincare delivery in makeup. Again though, I'm not saying to solely rely on makeup to give you your skincare benefits. I will still rely on my skincare regimen and then apply Suqqu makeup to just have it all there. But they are really much about including those skincare ingredients in a lot of their complexion products, if not all. So it'll be interesting to see, you know, if I do experience any positive changes. Here's the extra glow in Classic Tan 04. Now you see it has a little bit of warmth, but I'm not mad about it. You know what I'm saying? It just melts into the skin, and it does give me a little bit of warmth without appearing artificial. Because I have worn that foundation that was a little too warm for me, and it was just obvious. Like, oh, Alicia, that's a tan. But the way it just sinks into the skin is remarkable. It has an SPF of 10. The new cream foundation will have an SPF of 25. I would still recommend that you wear your SPF if you're going outside. The scent is undetectable. I mean, I cannot pick anything up. And again, even though it's like a dewy finish, it doesn't feel too greasy or doesn't leave me too shiny, and it just creates this veil. So I am apparently a little warmer for sure, and I think that's why Jorge probably recommended the 035. I'm not against buying both, okay? If I need to buy both, I'm fine, and quite frankly, that's why I skipped on the Rare Beauty release. Nothing against Selena Gomez. I already knew this cream foundation was coming. I wanted to save my money and spend it accordingly on items that I had my heart set on for quite some time. And just from how much I love the Extra Cream Glow foundation, I just knew the newer formula, it will be a hit, without a doubt. I applied a little more on the portions that needed some, more coverage. This is my Ray Morris #1 brush. It's made with the natural hair before all her brushes converted to synthetic. Now, unfortunately, I do not have a concealer from them, but staying within the Japanese makeup family of things, I will apply my Shiseido gel stick in 302. I am dying to try the new Suqqu concealer. It is said to be more of a medium full. It can be sheer depending on how much you apply, but it's buildable. The shades recommended to me were 15, 16, hold on, I got my notes. 15, 16, and 18. 15 for the under eye, 16 for coverage, and 18 for the contour. Now, unfortunately, 18 is the deepest shade. It's like a chestnut brown. So when I get that, you could probably figure out, if you are deeper than me, if you could wear that shade. But again, I want to bring this content forward and say, hey, people who are deeper than light, fair, light, even medium, really like Suqqu. So we shall see. Even this kind of glow finish dry down doesn't feel heavy. It's remarkable. This freaking Suqqu, I think, has a total of 4 powders. I have the sheer loose powder. I think this is the all-time crowd favorite. The Oil Rich Glow, which I'm also getting with my foundation order, is kind of like that Laura Mercier loose powder that with the shimmies. So you can apply it all over your face, but Shumana suggested that I apply it on like the cheekbone areas or wherever I want a little bit of pizzazz. The texture of this powder is unlike anything I have ever used, unlike anything in my collection. It is light. I don't know if you can see the tint to it. It would be nice if they came out with another powder that's richer in tone, because the texture, the minute you apply it, it takes the shine away, but it doesn't change the color of your makeup. It mattifies without the skin looking flat. It does not dry the skin down at all. And it just is, the blurring effect is outrageous, friends. Completely and utterly so. Like, my skin does not look dry. It just looks perfectly set. I have not used any of my other powders. I don't want to. This is the only one that matters to me right now. I do still miss, listen, the Hourglass translucent veil bomb, the pat bomb, but like I can't use a light medium 2 under my eyes because it's a little too yellow. But the press powder I still do use under my eyes, the light one and the medium one all over my face. I just love loose powder to set my makeup with. I don't know what it is, especially the under eyes. I feel it's a little more airbrushed and lightweight. Now let's go into this shimmering liquid highlighter. There's one other shade that's more pinky in tone. Man, oh man, this comes in a pump, by the way. It's like, let me just put it on. I cannot. It's a little thicker than the multi-glow stick. I like to use either a synthetic brush or natural undyed goat hair brush to apply it, but the way it just sinks into the skin, it's so beautiful. I cannot take it. I like to apply this with a brush because I feel it just melts it into my skin a little more effortlessly than my finger. Although finger is good. You know, I should never downplay a finger application. But look at just the glow stick. 101 is like a more clear balm. Yeah. This I much rather apply with my finger. And if you see here, it doesn't have the same impact as the shimmer liquid. I would say this is more suitable for a makeup wearer who just wants a barely there glow, barely there tinge of radiance and shine. Also great setting up if you want to apply a powder highlighter, especially if they're drier in texture, like the Milk Cosmetics digital duos or even just their digital highlighters. The 102 is a little more goldy in tone. You could layer them accordingly. This one has a little more shimmer. So if you want more of a balm without the shimmers, then 101 will be great. And it's translucent, so if you are deeper than me, you can wear it on top of bare skin or on top of your foundation because it doesn't have any color to it. Let me get into this blush. Now, there is so much blush to share. I do have B-roll combining, I think, the more subdued shades and the more punchy shades. So I'll play those next to me or on top of me, you know, whatever. I just wanted to maybe apply. What I've been doing is applying this shade here as like my bronzer, and then I'll go in with one of the more subdued shades and maybe go in with one of the single compacts. Picking up this shade here with my Suqqu.harrods GSN03 and just nudge it right there in the hollows. I know. And just for funsies, let's do the more mauve on the hollows on this side. This palette is meant to be combined, so you don't have to follow my lead and just use one shade at a time. This one has more of a cooler tint to it, and you see this is much warmer. This is beautiful. There's something very special about this shade. And then of course this pink shade. Be careful. Be careful. Like on top of the terracotta. Oh, and then the more corally on top of the mauve. My goodness me. And of course, let's go in with the Subomizaki. Let's apply this shade maybe on the, you know, the tropical side. Just pounce it right here. Oh, look at my cheek. Look at the skin. Just the texture and how all the blush shades melt with one another and how it melted with the cream highlighter. I'm undeserving. Here is, ooh, number 4. This is so beautiful. It's like a warm rosy pink. I think so fall appropriate, don't you think? Here we go. Just gonna put it right there. Oh, I love this combination. It's just delightfully beautiful. And I'll put a little bit here on the temples, you know, so we could all come together as one. Something I've been doing, which I love, is to apply some of these blush shades on my lids. I think it's an easy way to bring the complexion together, to bring your whole makeup look together without relying on mascara, without relying on, you know, crease shades and liners and whatever. Just put the blush on the crease and you're good to go. Before we do that, however, I would like to take a few of these highlighter shades. Let's take this one. This is like the, I don't know, the taupey champagne. So it's a little cool on me, but the shine is crazy. So if I wanted to control the tone of this, then I would hit the majority of the cheekbone with more of a golden champagne leaning highlight and just hit the very center of the cheekbone with that shade. Let's go in with the pink shade. The pink shade definitely, you see, is a lot cooler, but it's so pretty. It really made that liquid highlighter go pa-pa. If it's too much, if you think it's too much, then I'll take just a very soft buffing brush. This is my Suqqu.harrods 03. Bring everything together. And again, just the texture, unparalleled. I cannot, it's too much. It really is too much. You could also mix the highlighters with the blushes. You could do a number of things depending on the finish you wish to achieve. I like to mainly keep the highlighter on the cheekbones, as I think the shimmery with the satin could be a little too much texture on the apples of the cheeks. I do find that there is some sheen. Well, I don't really know actually. In the single compacts, it's matte, but not dry or dull. So if I blended that on my finger, you see there's a little bit of sheen in there that I like to have on the apples of the cheeks, and that's good enough for me. I don't need to add extra shimmery textures on the apples. I'll, again, primarily keep them here. Now, I know my eyebrows are not completely done, but it's fine. It's fine. Hourglass Veil. I think Suqqu might have an eye primer. I could only imagine that they do. All right, let's pat on some of the Hourglass because I want to, I mean, so many things to show you. I could run some B-roll now. I think I have B-roll of me applying the fall collection quad. Those shades are just so, they're just majestic in terms of how beautifully curated they are. The fact that you can match them up with each other in any which way and you'll get such a beautiful look. If you wanted to steer the eye more cool, then you stick to the olive. You could pop that golden shimmer on the inner corner. If you wanted to appear brighter, then you apply the fuchsia on the lid, or even that copper, like that fiery copper shade all over the lid, or combine both, or combine the copper and the olive. Like, the possibilities are endless. And again, I feel the tones are so well thought out that they are appropriately in that compact together, and the array of combinations are just available to you, and you don't have to feel afraid to not do this or not do that. Like, go for it, go for it. I feel however you combine the shades, it's gonna be a beautiful eye look. You know, I just realized I didn't do the liquid blush. If you want to quickly see how this liquid blush looks, it gives you some color. And keep in mind, friends, I already applied a bunch of stuff on my face and it still appears not heavy or cakey on the skin. So if you wanted to apply the liquid blush first and then top it off with one of the powder blushes, please, by all means, go crazy. They also have other liquid blushes. Again, this is in the limited edition frozen summer packaging. They have like this hot orange blush, liquid blush. I don't know, man. That's on my radar too, okay? I'm just popping on more because why not? I'm bringing it in a little closer. A little closer. I don't know what to do. There's so many combinations. You know what? I could always dedicate a live to Suqqu eyeshadows if we wanted to see other combinations, but what I am leaning towards, however, is doing one eye with the maroon and then another eye with that pumpkin. Chikuhodo F05 with the 17. There is a name for this. My apologies that I don't know. So I'm just whisking this in the crease. Woo! Dare I say this is like a cranberry? It's very pretty, and I'm just placing it all over. You very much well could just place this all over the lid as well, using my Wayne number 3 to just soften the edges. Even that by itself is just, it's beautiful. Taking this copper shade right on top and tapping that on. Look at the sheen. Again, very lightweight, very easy to apply. Like, it takes nothing at all. Then the fuchsia shade from the same quad. Pulling that over. I could have done the fuchsia here first and then the copper on the inner part. It's okay. Now taking the fuchsia Razzle Dazzle shade over the one from the compact, and you can see how that instantly brought it to life. 17 single under the lash line. You know what I kind of want to do? I want to see how the pumpkin shade number 16 with my Wayne number 3 on the edges. Oh, hey, that's fun. I like that. We're going a little avant-garde, but you know, it's all in good fun. Is this brush dirty? Excuse me. Pulling back in some of the 17 again. I gotta fix these eyebrows though, fam. They're killing me a little bit. Oh, that's better. Now with this light yellow gold shade on the inner lower lash line. Look how beautiful bright that looks. Ooh! And then I'll drape it over the fuchsia dazzle shade. Just tap it around right here. Now, if you want to see this olive shade, ooh. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me apply this blush shade right here on the crease. Because really, if we were to do this in stages, to keep it very light, I would apply the same blush shade I applied on my cheeks on the crease. Maybe not even put on mascara, like depending on how light I want the look to appear. I would just apply the cheek shade on the crease and just leave it like that, because I think it's so beautiful when it's left alone. Just for kicks, I know it's gonna be a little, well, maybe it won't be clashy, but we'll see. I'm placing the olive shade on the entire lid and relying on the blush shade to kind of be my transition, if you will. Taking a smaller blending brush and then pulling that olive shade into the blush shade even more so it could just appear seamless. And despite the fact that this is like a satin, you could very much blend it like a matte and you see it easily just blurs. And blending the edges a little bit more. Ooh, that's pretty. Same olive shade now with my Suqqu.harrods T7. This is like one of the best brushes for lower lash line placement because it's not too thick but not too thin either, so it gives you the right amount of haze. Just connecting it to what I know this is a lot. This is a lot, but this is kind of how I like to wear my eyeshadow. And I'm just blending here softly. Taking the copper shade, the one we applied here, on the inner third, just so you can see how it beautifully meshes with the olive. Like, despite it just not being cool toned at all, it works. It all works together. I'm actually going to bring it over the inner corner and just drape it here. Yes. Just refining this eye a little more. I'm placing more of the 17 shade here on the outer part of the lower lash line and just patting around the eyeshadow. If, you know, the blending got a little out of control, you could just kind of buff around the edges just so that they don't appears harsh. No other than some Dark Star mascara coming right up. All right, we're almost done. I cannot get over how the skin looks. Here's the olive eye. I'm surprised at how well it meshed with the mauve shade from the blush palette. It worked out. I don't know how, but it worked out. And here's like I say avant-garde because I brought the pumpkin shade all the way up to my brow. Like there was no room for brow highlight here, okay? And then the copper shade, the fuchsia, the gold shade on the inner corner. You know, I guess more fall. The lip shades from the fall collection. I got all three. 117. Here is the packaging for the lipstick. Isn't it just divine? Look at the edges and how it comes together. It's a closed snap. And the lipstick bullet is round. This shade is kind of like one of Pat's Astral shades. It's very unique. It has like the sparkles in there. I don't know if you can tell, but they very much exist like as blue sparkles and they give such a beautiful shine to the lips. And I love the tone. It's like a rich, deep, like a plum. You know what I'm saying? Very sophisticated, very... This is a grown and sexy look right here. Like, dare I say, a little fall goth. A little bit? Just a tiny bit. You're like, Elisa, you don't know what goth is, okay? Shut up. I know. It was an observation, okay? I was just asking. 118, we got the Moretti shade. I don't think I'd try this yet. This is pretty. It has, moving the camera, excuse me. This has more like a little bit of an orange to it. Ooh. I think this looks beautiful with this eye. Definitely Matches well with the copper shade. And there's sparkles in here too. They're gold. And I had to go a couple of sweeps around. Like, this is, I would say it kind of reminds me of Pat's Divinals, the new formula, but more pigment. So definitely this is an actual lipstick. But I feel there was something about this lipstick that was new formula wise. It's called the Moisture Rich Lipstick. So it's definitely a lipstick, but you can see just from the shine, it has a beautiful shine here. You can kind of feel the particles, the sparklies, but they didn't bother me. They didn't bother me. It's not scratchy. The overall feel of the texture is very soft, silky, and my lips look juicy. Okay, they look juicy. Last one, we have 119, which is like a warm brown. It's just pretty. This is like definitely a warmer brown, which I feel calls for a liner. Going with Pat McGrath's Brown Nouveau. Oh, there we go. Getting a little 90s up in here. Oh, hello there. You know what I kind of want to do? I want to take some of the shimmer liquid and just pop it on the lip. Oh my God. That's pretty. I don't know if that was a bad choice or not, but I like what's happening. It gave it a little something. And that is it. Our Suqqu haul overview try-on swatch extravaganza. I know this video was a little all over the place, but I hope it also delivered the fact that I'm very enthusiastic. Oh my God, this hair, I'm so sorry. I'm very enthusiastic about Suqqu and the brand, and have just been overly impressed by those who work with the brand and how helpful they have been. Jorge, Shumana, Beatrice, Alice. And I think it just speaks so highly of the brand philosophy, their customer service, but the products, fam. I just cannot emphasize enough how beautifully made these products are. The intention behind the formulations is just exquisite. I've been using their products for months now. Ever since I received them, I have been using them non-stop, especially the complexion products. They have just blown me away. I cannot wait to try the new cream foundation. That drops again this month on the 10th, and as soon as I get it, I'll be back on here so we can swatch, check out the different shades that I purchased, check out different ways that we could apply it. With the oil rich powder, I'm getting 2 new blushes. It's gonna be crazy. And then the holiday collection is dropping on November 5th. With the eyeshadow palette. That's what I'm saying. I need to save. I already knew this was coming. I'm prepared for the investment. Okay, so I will see you then with that new video. Hopefully I will get it up as quickly as possible once I receive the items, once Selfridges has shipped them out. Let me know if you have tried Suqqu, what you think of them, if you're looking to try them but you really couldn't figure out what products were best for you, especially in the complexion category, if it was tough for you to shade match. The Extra Glow foundation doesn't have a very extensive range, but the cream foundation has more of an extensive range than the Extra Glow. So hopefully if you were looking into Suqqu and there is a shade for you, that maybe you could try it this time around. And hopefully if they are looking to create more complexion products, that they will take into consideration the fact that there are a lot of us here in the States that really love their products, that are on the deeper side of the spectrum, so we could all have an opportunity to try Suqqu, because let me tell you, they do not disappoint. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another review, tutorial, brand overview, haul-ish, monthly favorites, or nightly live chit chat. Take care, and I'll see you again soon.